ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनाम् उपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपते नमः। शारदा शारदाम्बुज वदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात् सदा शिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे श्रीशतातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा बिभौधुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भो भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सूत्र 64 द्युभवाद्यायतनं सशब्दा मुक्तोपसृप्य विपदेशात् नानुमानम् अतच्छब्दा प्राणभृच्च भेदव्यपदेशात् प्रकरणा स्थित्यलनाभ्यां च भूमां संप्रसादादद्विपदेशात् धर्मोपपत्तेश्च अक्षरम् अम्बरान्तरधृतेः अक्षरम् अम्बरान्तरधृतेः। Page 269. Page 269. Second paragraph. Raise the volume, please. कस्मिन्नो खलु आकाशौक्तश्च प्लुतश्च इति स होवाच एतद्वै तदक्षरं गार्गी ब्राह्मणा अभिवदन्ति स्थूलम् अनणो इत्यादि श्रूयते तत्र संशयः किम् अक्षरशब्देन वर्णमुच्यते किम् परमेश्वर इति तत्र अक्षरसमाम्नाय इति आदौ अक्षरशब्दस्य वर्णे प्रसिद्धत्वात् प्रसिद्ध्यतिक्रमस्य च युक्तत्वात् ओंकार एव इदं सर्वम् इत्यादौ च श्रुत्यन्तरे वर्णस्य अपि उपास्यत्वेन सर्वात्मकत्व अवधारणा वर्ण एव अक्षरशब्द इति एवं प्राक् उच्यते पर एव आत्माक्षरशब्दवाच्यः कस्मात् अम्बरान्तरधृतेः पृथिव्यादेः आकाशन्तस्य विकारजातस्य धारणात् तत्र हि पृथिव्यादेः समस्तविकारजातस्य कालत्रयविभक्तस्य आकाश एव तदूतं च प्रोतं च इत्याकाशे प्रतिष्ठितत्वम् उक्त्वा कस्मिन्नो खलु आकाश ओतश्च प्रोतश्च इत्यनेन प्रश्नेन इदमक्षरम् अवतारितम् तथा च उपसंवृतम् एतस्मिन्नो खलु अक्षरे गार्ग्या आकाशौतश्च प्रोतश्च न च इयम् अम्बरान्तधृतिः ब्रह्मणोऽन्यत्र संभवति यद्यपि ओंकार एव इदं सर्वम् इति तदपि ब्रह्म प्रतिपत्ति साधनत्वात् स्तुत्यर्थं द्रष्टव्यम् we were seeing this in this third chapter. This is the third adhikaran. First adhikaran was Divbhavadya adhikaran, and second adhikaran was Bhuma adhikaran, and this third adhikaran is called Akshara adhikaran. In this third adhikaran you heard yesterday, this is based on Chandogya Upanishad, and the popular stories there where King Janak had organized a kind of competition to find out who is the knower of the self. To that knower of the self, he had promised to give 1,000 cows with the horns studded with gold. In that portion, you heard that sage Yagyavalk, actually he was a king, Yagyavalk came, but he was a mantradrashta. And then he said his disciple to take away all the cows. And then all the Brahmanas started asking questions to him. And in that, there was one brilliant lady who is also called Brahmavadini, whose name was Gargi. And as I told, she is not the wife of Yagyavalk. His wife was Maitri and Katyayani. So this Gargi had posed a question to Yagyavalk. So this question is posed in two Brahmanas. Brahmanas means chapters. In Brihadaranyaka, the chapters are known as Brahmanas. So this sixth Brahmana and eighth Brahmana, she comes and she says that as a powerful archer takes out his 2 arrows and shoots, similarly, I will also shoot you with the arrows of questions. 2 questions. So Yagyavalk was very cool. He said, yes, Prichha Gargi. He said, Gargi, you can ask any question. If you hear Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, you should hear it. I had taken one part in Vibhuti, and another part was to be taken again in September, which is cancelled. So let us see in future I can take some camp. We just focus on Brihadaranyaka in that camp. 3 classes we have. Morning, afternoon and evening. Let's see what God wills. So, now what the question she asked, she said, what is the support of the whole cosmos? What is the support of the whole cosmos? I showed you yesterday. Then, I think you should open the book. Chandogya. You know the section? Hari Brihadaranyaka. This is around 3.8 point. The question starts from 3rd. Answer is in 8. Saho vacha. This is the question. So 3.8.3. Sa is feminine. Sa ho vacha yadurdvam Yagyavalkya. So Yagyavalk is the vocative case. Divo yad vak pratipya yadantara dyava prativi ime yad bhutam cha bhavat cha भविष्यच्च इत्येतद् आचक्षते इत्याचक्षते कस्मिंगंस्तद् ओतं च प्रोतं च इति. What is that? This whole world is woven in what? Woven means permeated by what? This whole world, what is on the top, what is bottom, what is left, what is right, is permeated by what? So what is the answer given? Sahovacha. Here sa is for Yagyaval. Yad urdhvam gargi. So gargi is vocative case. He now repeats what is on the top. Yad avak. What is at the bottom? Pratibhya yadantara. Dyava Prithvi. What is in between the Prithvi and Antariksham? Ima Imeyad Bhutam. He says Cha Bhavacha Ime. Ime Yad Bhutam. These are two words. It appearing as one word. Two words are there. Ime Yad Bhutam Cha Bhavacha. Bhavishyatcha etadachakshe akashe. Underline that akash word. So akashe dadotam cha protam cha. All this is woven in space. Akash. Very important point. Here akash doesn't mean space. Here akash means avyakt. Here the word akash means avyakrit akash, maya, unmanifest. Whole thing is woven in unmanifest. Avyakta dini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidhananneva tatra ka paridevana. So here is space, akash means unmanifest. The whole world is supported by avyakrita akasha. Right? Avyakrit. You heard everything is in avyakrit. You heard that. Everything manifested is in the unmanifest state. Unmanifest means what? Which is not perceptible by the eyes or any sense organ. Na vyajyate karnaihi iti avyakritam. Which is not perceived by the sense organ. That is called unmanifest. Naturally, everything is unmanifest. It comes out from unmanifest. So, whole world is now permeated by unmanifest. Like my thoughts are there. So, before my thoughts had come, they were unmanifest. Not that thought were absent. Thought was in unmanifest. And then thought came up. So thought came up in the unmanifest. Like your body is there. So before this body was born, this body was also in unmanifest form, in the form of fruit of action. Like all your fruits of action are in unmanifest. It will reveal in time. So whole world also is in unmanifest. And it expresses and then goes back into unmanifest. It's a potential, what is popularly called Maya. Okay. So, now she says, okay, I agree with your question. Dhyan dena, this unmanifest is same as the Prakriti of Sankhya. Sankhya also says the Prakriti. So whole world is interwoven in unmanifest. It is permeated by the unmanifest. Here unmanifest word is Akash. Akash. Here Akash doesn't mean space here. Because why? Because he is asking, she has asked the question, in which the whole world. So in which space is also, if you say literal meaning of space is also part of the world. So then why the unmanifest is called space? Because everything is in space. So that's because of the similarity of this space and the unmanifest. The unmanifest is called space here. I hope this is clear. So whole Sarvbhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamika. Who has by hearted? Anybody knows by 9th chapter? 9th chapter? Nobody has. So Bhagavan says in 9th chapter, Sarvbhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshe Punastani Kalpado Visrujamyaham. By hearted? Trying. You have not written and given. So many times I asked you. Maybe when. So Sarvbhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam. So whole world attain my unmanifest nature. And again from unmanifest nature it comes. And that unmanifest is called, that state is called pralaya or dissolution. They all attain my prakriti, everything goes back. If you see this whole world, plant, mineral, everything is only earth element. Everything is earth element. If you love something in this world, it is earth element. And everything goes back into its cause. So earth will go back into water. Good. Earth will go back into water. How do you know? Because if you burn anything, burning means dehydrating. If I burn the wood, I am taking out the water only. Then nothing remains. Almost it will be dust, it will be ashes. Whole weight, even the body's weight is of the water. 80% of our body, this is water. But I say more than 80% is water. If you really burn the whole body, properly if you burn, so it can be ashes only will come out. Ashes. Ashes means what? Dehydrated earth. Dehydrated earth is called ash. Dehydrated means water has been taken out. That is called burning only. What you say burning is you are taking out the water elements, it evaporates. When you put the fire and you have a vessel in which water is there and you put the vessel into fire, the water starts evaporating. So if you come after 1 hour, nothing will be there. If you put in some container, all water will evaporate. Similarly, this body is there. If you burn it, hardly anything is there. And the weight of the ash, the body may be 100 kg. Weight of the ash may not be 1 kg also. That means bigger weight was of the water. Similarly, whole earth. One scientist was there in IIT in India. IIT is a very reputed institution, engineering institution. So he said that if you burn the whole earth, and properly if you keep on burning it, one after another, again ash come, again you burn the ash, again you burn the ash. So whole earth will be as big as the size of a peanut. And therefore, the earth is nothing but the water element. And all what you say, gold, diamond, earth, all the properties, brick, what you say is attached to jewelry or is attached to money, everything is only earth element. There is nothing else. If you say is attached to particular house or is attached to car, is attached to clothes or is attached to makeup, everything is only earth element. So whole thing which is the earth element, if you burn, it will become water. And water, when you go burn, it will become fire. Water evaporates and goes to become heat, fire. Vapor is there. Vapor. It becomes heat. When water evaporates, it becomes heat. Therefore, water goes into heat, and therefore, earth is nothing but the fire only. Fire cannot exist without air. You know that. Air is oxygen is there. So if oxygen is not there, then the fire will extinguish. And air cannot exist without space. And therefore, everything is going back into its cause called Laya Avastha. This is how Pralaya happens. Pralaya is effect going back to its cause. So earth goes into water, water goes into fire, fire goes into air, air goes back into space. And this space, if you don't have a thought, you have no experience of space. So if you take out A and B disappears, then A is the cause of B. This is the point. So whole space comes back from mind. And mind comes from the samskar, thoughts. Thoughts come from my vasanas or unmanifest. What is called unmanifest at the cosmic level is also then manifest here, called samskar, vasanas. In my vasanas, hundreds of thousands of samskar thoughts are in unmanifest form. And therefore, if you talk on any topic, immediately the thoughts erupt. You may be very quiet, but on certain issue, if you have anger and somebody talks about that, within 1 minute anger can come up. But while he was not talking, I was very quiet because that anger was unmanifest. Similarly, supposing you have sadness on a certain issue. So right now a person is not sad. I went to Robin Island. Robin Island, you have gone? Robin Island. Not gone. I think it is worth seeing. Robin, you have gone? Robin Island is worth seeing. Some very few things I like, and that is there. There is a written trump of the spirit there. I think number 2, cell number 2 was of Nelson Mandela, where he was first brought in 60s as a young person. He must be 20s or 30s. He was a lawyer. And when he was brought first day, Long Walk to Freedom, that book, I think you all must have read. Long Walk to Freedom. You're in South Africa and you have not read it, not read. You should read it. It's worth reading. The day he went there, Cape Town was very cold. This season was there. And you know, Cape Town, windy, cold, both makes deadly combination. Cape Town season is a not good season. So he was made to take out his clothes. And the clothes were thrown in the water and asked, again you put it on. And the cell is there. I think it's cell number 22. Still they have maintained it. So after he became president in 92, 91, I think, 94. So he became president. Only one term he was president, till 99 or something like that. So he visited that Robben Island as a president. And when he went to his own cell, the photograph is there. He became very emotional at that. It was nearly natural. That how when he came and for 27 years, 27 years, My God, can you imagine? And very hard life. It's not a good life. Forget about good life. It is a terrible life. Where he lost his son also from his first wife called Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela. And he was not allowed to go to the funeral. Anyway, that is another thing. So moment he saw that, my point is here. All that samskar, that what trial I went through, solitary jails, horrible food, very thin clothes, not proper sanitation, bathroom, etc. So everything came up in his mind and he cried start. So sometime in our heart some sadness is also sitting. So a person is very happy outside, but there may be certain point on which he may be very sad about. That is avyakt. On certain issue you may be sad about. Supposing you tried to do something and you have failed repeatedly. Certain thing in your sadhana you tried and you failed. So when I say you did not do that, so you will become very emotional. Because you will feel I failed on that. But I tried a lot. Or some person is there in your life who was very close to you once upon a time. Or still that person is now late. So if I talk about that sad samskar will come out. So thoughts come from the unmanifest. Similarly, the whole world, Akash, comes from the Hiranyagarbha. And from Hiranyagarbha, yesterday you heard from Mahat comes. And from Mahat, 24 element you saw. And that comes from the unmanifest. And therefore, here Yagyavalkya says that whole world has come from unmanifest. He has given the word called Akash. Right? Don't do like that. That habit is not gone. This is hit with this. So, after that, Gargi said thank you. Sa hovacha, fifth mantra. Sa, here Sa is for Gargi. Sa hovacha namastestu Yagyavalkya. She is offering namaskar to Yagyavalkya. Then what she asks? Yo ma etam vyocho. Vya vocho, not vyocho. Vya vocho. Aparasmai dharya sweti prachhagargeti. He said, I have another question. He said, what is your question? What is your question? Who holds this avyakrit? On which is this Akash itself? What is the support of Maya? And there she asked the same question, sixth mantra, Sahovacha. Same thing, almost why it is the same as the sixth, third and sixth. Sahovacha Yadudurdvamga Yagyavalkya Divi, etc. is there. And what is this? I'm getting my question. The avyakrit or unmanifest is permeated by what? The avyakrit or the Akash is permeated by what? Here Akash means Maya. And now this is the answer which he gives in 8th mantra, which is the mantra under discussion. What he gives the answer? 8th mantra, at least you tick it or mark it. Sahovacha. Here Sa means Yagyavalkya. Sahovacha etadvai tadaksharam gargi. On which the unmanifest is permeated is called Aksharam. ब्राह्मणा अभिवदन्ति अस्थूलम् अनणु अरस्वम् अदीर्घम् अलोहितम् अस्नेहम् अच्छायम् अतमः अवायु अनाकाशम् असंगम् अरसम् अगन्धम् अचक्षुकम् अचक्षुष्कम् अश्रोत्रम् अवाक् अमनः अतेजस्कम् अप्राणम् अमुखम् अमात्रम् अनन्तरम् अबाह्यम् न तदश्नाति किंचन न तदश्नाति कश्चन. And this is what is the Vishaya Vakya. On this sutra, this adhikarana rather, is based on this particular mantra. Okay? Okay. क्या करें फिर अब? What shall we do now? What is the problem? Because for Brahma Sutra there should be some kind of problem. Then only the sutra can be made. So what was the problem that you brought it here? If something is talked in the court, there must be some two parties has to be there. If the two parties are not there, you don't go to the court. If there is no problem that this land is mine and you are the sole one, nobody is claiming, then you don't know to go to the court. Court means same thing is claimed by different people. Now Purupaksh comes. What is Purupaksh saying? Purupaksh is saying that here in this answer of Yagyavalk, which he gave to the Gargi, that on which the whole world is interwoven, in which the unmanifest is also interwoven. And you said it is Aksharam. See the word here? Aksharam word you can see. Where? Tadvai tadaksharam sahovacha etadvai tadaksharam. So Purupaksh says, bhai, देखिए बात ये है कि the Upanishad has used the word Akshara, not the Brahman. This is for your nishtha. This is the grace of Bhagavan Vedavyas, that to establish the commitment towards the Brahman, he has raised all these points. He has not ducked over it. He said that Upanishad has not used the word Brahman for Akshar. How can you say that Akshar is Brahman? Why are you saying like that? Because, please listen to me, because Akshar word popularly means, letters. Akshar word, Akshar, means Varnam. Very popular meaning is that Akshar means Varnam, letters. Ka, kha, ga, ga. These are called Akshar, Varnamala. So, now, what will be the debate? Debate is that whether the Akshar word means Brahman or Akshar word means letter or Varna. Akshar Brahma or Varna. Is it Brahma or Varna or letters? Okay. Why you are talking about that? Because, Purupaksh is saying, popular meaning should be taken first. Any word, the meaning which is popular should be taken first. And proper meaning is Rudi Artha. Rudi Artha. Primary meaning what is called. Supposing I say water. So water means water. So meaning is water. Supposing I say he has thrown water. So when he said thrown water, so there is no secondary meaning. Thrown water means thrown water. So you don't see the secondary meaning when the primary meaning is clear. But supposing he says, he has thrown water on my ideas. He has thrown cold waters on my ideas. An idea is not a concrete thing that you can throw a water. Then you have to see secondary meaning. Then throwing the cold water on somebody's ideas means that he has totally discarded it. So, but when the primary meaning is already there, then why you are taking the secondary meaning? This is the general analysis of this adhikara. Okay. Now let us see the first sutra. First sutra, what is the first sutra? See the first sutra. Ambaram Aksharam Ambaranta Tritehe. See the first sutra. Aksharam Ambaranta Tritehe. Aksharam Ambaranta Tritehe. What do you mean by this? What do you mean? Here, Bhagavan Vedavyas, general analysis of first sutra. Here, Bhagavan Vedavyas is saying, Aksharam is Brahma. Why? Because this Akshar is supposed to be support of everything up to Akash or Maya. Maya is also supported by Akshar. If unmanifest is there, unmanifest is of what? Supposing I say, all the samskar are there, but samskar should belong to somebody. Like in the microcosm, in me, supposing I say lot of thoughts are there. अब that thought should be in unmanifest form, you heard that. But that unmanifest should be belonging to somebody. Unmanifest cannot be hanging in the air. It should be of somebody. Why? Because unmanifest is of the nature of ignorance. And ignorance cannot be without substratum. Ignorance is always based on a Chetan object. Ignorance is superimposed on something conscious. This death does not have ignorance. And for ignorance to have, there should be consciousness on which ignorance is superimposed. Got my point? So now 3-tier arrangement is there. First is consciousness. On the top of consciousness is No. Second. First is consciousness. Second, Maya or Avyakrit. And from Avyakrit is the world. So whole world up to Maya or up to, another word for Maya in this, Akash, is based on, is superimposed on consciousness, called here as Akshar or Brahman. If you take the meaning called letter is ridiculous, because this on letter, whole world can't be superimposed, because it's just a sound. What was the problem with the mic? Huh? When? It's yesterday he has come. Today again he is coming. Today sound engineer is coming. Acha. Okay. Everybody comes with their own ideas. He was making sound. So, how will you say in Sanskrit now? Akasha sahitasya samastasya prapanchasya adharatvat. Such a long sentence. Akasha sahitasya. Akasha sahitasya samastasya prapanchasya adharatvat. Aksharam Brahma eva. Because of the support of the whole world along with the unmanifest, because of being the support of the whole world along with the unmanifest or Maya, Akshara can be Brahma only in BU. BU? Brother BU. Not BU, other BU. She understood. So, as in this 3-point, Shalini is quite confused. With 3.8. Okay, clear. Now let me go to the word analysis. I hope this is clear. Because of the support of the whole universe up till Maya or unmanifest or named as Akash in the present context, Akshar can be Brahman only because Brahman alone is the support. I hope this is clear now. Well, let us go to the word analysis. What is a word analysis? Word is Aksharam Ambarantara Dhritehe. Now you have to supply one word called Brahma after Akshara. So Aksharam Brahma. And this is fifth case. Ambaranta, why am I saying ta? Ambaranta Dhritehe. Ambaranta Dhritehe. So how will you say now? Ambaranta Dhritehe. So please note, Akshar means, I am repeating it, Akshar occurring in this section, 3.8.8 of Brihadaranyaka. And Brahma means Akshar is Brahma alone and not an alphabetical letter. Now Ambaranta Dhritehe, there are three words. One is Ambar, second is Anta, and third is Dhritehe. So how will you say? Ambar means Akash. Ant means everything up to. And Dhritehe means because of sustenance. So Ambar Antar Anta Dhritehe. Ambar Anta Dhritehe. So how will you translate the whole thing? Because of sustenance of everything up to Akash. Ambar means Akash. So Dhritehe means because of sustenance. So always go from right to left. So because of sustenance of everything up to Akash or Avyakrit, complete the sentence, Akshar is Brahma. Now, Ambarant. Ambarant means, I'm making a Sanskrit students, please see. Ambaram antah yasya sarvasya tat ambarantam. Ambaram, that means space, up to yasya. Ambaram anta, up to. So this is the name, Ambarant is the name of the whole world. Whole world is up to the space, up to the unmanifest, from manifest to unmanifest. So Ambaram antah yasya sarvasya tat ambarantam. So whose culmination is up to the space or up to the unmanifest. That is start from the gross element called 5 element. It goes up to the space or up to the unmanifest. That is called the world. I hope this is the meaning is clear. So Ambaranta Dritehe, Aksharambaranta Dritehe. Because Brahman alone can support the whole world, not the letter. Not the letter. Letter cannot support the whole world. Here the sutra is completed. But don't be happy. Because Purva Paksh is sitting there. He says, I'm quiet. It doesn't mean I'm agreeing to everything. Because you are talking, I did not want to interrupt you. It's not a good manners to interrupt somebody while talking. Let him complete and then I'll talk. Okay, then you talk now. He says, I also know this point. What point? That one letter cannot sustain the whole world. I'm not that childish. As you made me sound very childish, I'm not that. I'm not that childish. Sometimes I'm not that bad as you think. I'm worse than that. So he's saying, I'm not saying it is the, then what you are saying. There is a special meaning of Akshar in the scriptures, which does not mean syllable or letters. Oh, what is that meaning? What is the meaning of Aksharam? Hello? Huh? Good. Good. Very good. Really. She got it. Some are dark horse they are called. I'm happy you thought over it. This Akshar is the Omkar. Purva Paksh is saying. And this Akshar word has come for Omkar at various places in the Upanishad. And please open your Mantra Pushpam, Kathopanishad, the first I shown. In Kathopanishad, if you see 16th verse of second Valli, 1.2.16. Why I am making you open? So that you have a habit to see the mantras. 1.2.16. You see there, Etad Devaksharam Brahma, Etad Devaksharam Param, Etaddevaksharam gyatva yo yadichyati tasya tat. And this is preceded by which mantra? When Nachiketa asks, what is that which is different than dharma, etc.? Yadi sarve vedayat padamamananti. See the word here? Sarve vedayat padamamananti tapamsi sarvani chayad vadanti yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena bravimi omiti etat. So Yamraj said, if you don't like the word Yamraj, say Dharmaraj. So you say Dharmaraj said, Yama Dharmaraj. Let us make it like that. So Yam Dharmaraja said, some word is not very pleasing sometimes. And how do you know? Nobody puts the name of their son. One way, which word society had always accepted. Maximum society has accepted Ram. How do you know? Maximum name is of Ram. South India, North India, everywhere. Ram Prasad, Ram Krishna, Krishna, Ram and Shiv. Maximum name is accepted as this. If you take up all the time, maximum people have accepted Bhagwan Ram, Krishna and Shiv. Vibhishana they have not accepted. I don't know why. Because maybe he left his brother. So nobody puts his son's name as Vibhishana or Ravana or Kumbhakara or Duryodhana. Very, very, very rare. I heard one painter was there, his name was Duryodhana. Very rare. Ravana also I have heard. 1 in million. But Ram, Krishna, Shiv, maximum is accepted. Chikaran. So this tells that what was the acceptance. Similarly, if you go to Christianity, Mary word is there. Mary. Joseph. Saint Joseph. When I was small, my school's name was Saint Joseph's Convent. It was a Christian school. My education, formal education was in a Christian school. Bhagwan's Leela. So then Joseph word, I don't know who, Joseph also was connected to Christ, I think. Oh, somebody was there. Mary, Joseph, Michael. If you see Bible, so these words are more coming there. So English name, the Christian names are like that. Similarly, if you go to Muslims, Abdullah is there. Abdullah. So their word is also there, connected to the Quran also. Okay. So here, Sarve Vedayat Padama Mananti Tat Tapagamsi Chayat Padanti Tapagamsi Sarvani Jayat Badanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti. For whom all Vedas are pointing, for whom? Because of which seekers leave their house and practice the life of Brahmacharyam. That I am going to tell in short. What is that? Om iti etat. And then he describes who? Yam Dharmaraja. Let us say Yam Dharmaraja. Then he describes Yamraj is something threatening is there. Yamraj, somebody is threatening. Fearful person. Yamraj has come. Death has come. Death has come. Then you say Yamraj has come. When a person dies, Yamraj comes. Now therefore you use the word Yam Dharmaraja. And then we say Etadhevaksharam Brahma. This akshar is called Brahma. Etadhevaksharam Param. Etadhevaksharam Gyatva. You got the point? So that this akshar, Om is mentioned as this akshar, Kathopanishad. Who's saying? Urpaksh is saying. This Brahma Sut chants you. And this is what I like, because it brings all the aspects. It makes your mind alert and more committed to the truth. Or end result is your commitment it wants. Last result is not to study Brahma Sutra. It is a tool to be committed. Tool. Now, go to Taittiriya Upanishad. Although you should have by hearted, but I know you don't know. So in the Taittiriya Upanishads, go to Sikshavalli. In Sikshavalli, if you open the page, if you open 16th mantra of Sikshavalli, don't say Sikshavalli. Sikshavalli. Om iti Brahma. Om iti Dagam Sarvam. बस इतना ही है. 2 Upanishads are now. Okay? And therefore this Om iti Idagam Sarvam, Om is everything. And therefore you were saying what is the base of the whole world. So here Upanishad is saying that Om is the base. So I am meaning the Akshar Om and not the Brahman. Om is the Akshar Om, the syllable Om, which is the base of the whole world. Okay. Now, two Upanishads I showed you. Go to 3rd Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. Very popular mantra. First mantra itself says, Om iti etat aksharam idam sarvam. First mantra. Om iti etat aksharam idam sarvam tasyopavyakyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvam onkara eva yaccha anyatra kalatitam tadapyonkara eva. You saw that? And therefore, what is therefore? The base of all is Om now. 3 Upanishads. Want to see more? Okay, it's okay, don't worry about it. No, I'll show you. Now go to Chandogya Upanishad. In Chandogya Upanishad, where is that in Chandogya Upanishad? You open 3rd chapter, chapter 3, 2.23.3. 2.23.3. Chapter 2, 23rd. If you see last line, Sarvam Omkara eva idagam sarvam. So everything is based on Omkar. So 4 Upanishad I am telling you, which is saying that this Akshar has the meaning of Omkar only. Purpaksha say. Therefore, Akshar Omkar, syllable Omkar, is Sarvadhara. And therefore, how can you say what? That Omkar is not the one on which whole world up to Akash or Prakriti or Maya is interwoven. So what you want to say? I want to say that on this syllable called Omkar, because Akshar has the meaning of Omkar, whole world up to, starting from the grossified elements up to the Prakriti, everything is in that Omkar. This is the Purpaksh. I hope you are clear about the Purpaksh. Now, Bhashyakar has given an answer in one line. I'll try to elaborate that. Answer is then, first of all, I'd like to compliment you for your research. Really, you have given a thought, and I really am happy that you took out all the points from 4 Upanishads. Kathopanishad, Mandukya-Upanishad, Chandogya-Upanishad, Taittiriya, not Taittiriya, Taittiriya Upanishad. Good. That you brought it out. But not good. What is not good? Not good. That what you are thinking. Why am I not good? I'm not. What wrong in my thinking? Why? Why you are saying I'm not right? I'm telling you. Maximum you can say that Omkar sound. The sound called Om. This sound called Omkar contains all the sounds. I agree with that point. If you remember in Sanskrit, the whole Varnamala is divided into 5 parts. One is called Kavarga. Kavarga. Second is called Chavarga. Third is called Tavarga. Fourth is called Tavarga. Fifth is called Pavarga. So, gutturals are there. Then palateals are there. Then retroflex is there. Then dentals are there. Then labials. Right? So from here it starts. From the bottom of your throat. It's called guttural. Oh. So from here when the sound comes, that is called gutturals. And when the air hits the palates, it is called palateal. Cha 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 cha. So it is like that. And when you twist your tongue slightly, you have to make it round and touch the palate. It is called retroflex. And when it touches at the base of your teeth, on the front, it is called dental. So you cannot pronounce unless you touch the teeth. Unless the tongue touches the teeth, you can you saw that. So air is hitting at various parts of your system here. From the throat up to the lips. So similarly, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. So without touching the lips, you cannot pronounce papa. Pronounce? Without touching the lips. So lips, you have to touch the lips. Aha, you cannot pronounce that. But when you chant Omkar, so it starts from Om. So there is one sound which starts from the bottom of your throat and goes up to the lips. Om. You see? So first letter itself is A in the swaras, on the vowels. Om. So, Bhashyakar is saying, I can, and because it scans all the letters. Who? Om. Om. And therefore, I can agree that all the letters are contained in the Omkar. Urdu letters, English letters. Whatever word you speak, it's a combination of certain words, letters. And they all are in Omkar. I can agree to that point. So, Omkar is Sarva Pad Adhar. पदाधारा और शब्दाधारा. But the word which is indicating to something cannot be inside Omkar. I say, supposing flower. So word flower is in Omkar. Because flower is one word, flower. So this word is contained in the sound called Omkar. But this external flower cannot be in the sound Omkar. Why? Because. And that too, all the external object cannot be in the sound Omkar. Why? Because this Omkar word itself is produced in sound. And Omkar is a word, is a shabd, which is the property of space. Which is space? Not that Maya space. Word, shabd is a property of space. When space itself is a beginning and end, then the property of a space called Om, how can that not be having beginning and end? If itself has a beginning and end, how can it be the support of all world? Therefore, Anitya Omkar cannot be Sarvadhara. Because itself is supported by space. Property is supported by the substance. So space is supporting the word Omkar. So it is against the logic and it is against our experience. Purupaksh said, lo. That means you are making all these four statements I gave you from Kathopanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Taittiriya, all are false then. He said, no, when I say it is false. Oh, you refuted everything. I'm not saying it is false. I'm saying what you said is false, not what you should say. No, but Shruti itself says that Omkar is Brahman and it is Adhar of everything. How will you prove it that then? You agree? Shruti is saying right. 100% Shruti is right. Shruti is saying that Omkar is everything. And you just now said that Omkar cannot have everything. And you are saying now that Shruti is right. You are saying, in other words, that Omkar is containing it. He said, see, when direct meaning is not right, we have to see the implied meaning. And what is the implied meaning of that word? We will see it tomorrow. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah. Hari Om.